please stand and join us in the playing and singing of our national anthem. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this evening's performance, The Beat Goes On, a program of music featuring very lively and rhythmic sounds. My name's Mike Mullen. I'm happy to begin my 5th season as your host for the evening of entertaining music, featuring some of the best and exciting and compelling band music around. At the same time, a very special night tonight because we get to feature our brand new timpani and the wonderful talents of percussionist Dane Newlove. We're going to open with a march from noted composer Henry Fillmore. Our own Red, White, and Blue March is a melodic patriotic song that he wrote as a contribution to the war effort during World War I. The march was performed for fundraising efforts by the Red Cross, and according to accounts from the event, it assisted in raising a considerable amount of money for that very worthy cause. Let's enjoy Henry Fillmore's Our Own Red, White, and Blue March. Great way to start tonight's show. Well, a gentleman by the name of Clifton Williams was an American composer, pianist, French hornist, conductor, and teacher. He was known by symphony patrons as a virtuoso French hornist with many symphony orchestras. but he would later achieve his greatest success writing music for concert band. His Fanfare and Allegro won the inaugural American Bandmaster Association's Ostwald Award for original band literature way back in 1956. He later won 2 more Ostwald Awards and many other awards for his numerous works for band. Then came something that actually brings it fairly close to home for me personally. I happened to grow up in the Silver Spring, Maryland area, just outside of Washington, D.C., and my dad worked for the government. And when he retired after 30 years with the government, he wanted to go back and do what he always wanted to do, and that was teach art history. Somehow or other, World War II got in the way of that, and it stopped him for 30 years. But he went back and got a degree, and he found a job in San Antonio, Texas. Well, lo and behold, in 1964, Mr. Clifton Williams was commissioned to write a composition to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the San Antonio Symphony Orchestra. And the result is tonight's Symphonic Dance number 3. It's one of 5 dances he wrote to represent the spirit of a different time and place in the history of San Antonio. This dance reflects the excitement and the color of the city's many Mexican celebrations. How well I remember a couple of times that I did get back to San Antonio. It was an event called NIOSA, Night in Old San Antonio, and I mean the town really came out and did its thing. It's called the Pageantry of Latin American Celebration, featuring street fans, bullfights, bright costumes, and the colorful legacy of a very proud people. Officially, it's called the Symphonic Dance number 3, but we know it better as Fiesta. The Lima Area Concert Band, Mr. John Hill. We promised you lively and dramatic, and that's about as good as it gets, folks. We move on. Leroy Anderson was an American composer of short, light concert pieces, many of which were introduced by the Boston Pops Orchestra under the direction of the great conductor Arthur Fiedler. His Rakes of Mallow is a traditional Irish song, and of all things polka, and is taken from Anderson's larger Irish suite, which he dedicated to Arthur Fiedler. Here is the Rakes of Mallow. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Great job, everybody. You know, I obviously don't know Leroy Anderson, but he sounds like an interesting guy, somebody that could put Irish music and polka together. I've never heard of those two words in the same sentence. Another interesting note about Leroy Anderson was it was really, really, really hot one summer night. So he wanted to write something to, help deal with it. And what did he write but Sleigh Ride, which became one of the most popular Christmas tunes ever? And I can't prove this, but I have a hunch that somebody like Leroy Anderson would have said something like this: always borrow money from a pessimist. He won't expect it back. Well, folks, now we come to a very special part of the night. We are proud to honor, our guest soloist for this opening performance of 2024. Dane Newlove is a noted percussionist who retired after a 30-year career in education, the last 27 of which as Director of Bands and Performing Arts Department Chair for the St. Mary's City Schools. Bands under his direction performed at national level events such as the Citrus Bowl Parade, Philadelphia Thanksgiving Day Parade, and the Kentucky Derby Pegasus Parade, as well as state-level concert band adjudicated events. He is currently the Director of Adjudicated Event Materials and Awards for the Ohio Music Education Association, and he teaches part-time as percussion specialist for the Coldwater and St. Mary's City School Systems. Dane is also an active performer as a percussionist in the Lima Symphony Orchestra, of course, our Lima Area Concert Band, the Lima Marimba Ensemble, the Unclouded Day Vocal Ensemble, and as principal percussionist for the Old Crown Brass Band from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Dane is also the founder and co-director of the St. Mary's Area Community Band. Now, we are fortunate to be the first to introduce our newly purchased timpani to the Lima community. The acquisition of the timpani was spearheaded by Dane Newlove and is a combined effort between the Lima Area Concert Band and the Lima Symphony Orchestra to honor the memory of Jim Lehman, who passed away in the summer of 2022. Jim was principal percussionist and timpanist for the Lima Symphony Orchestra for over 40 years, as well as being an active performer with our Lima Area Concert Band. The set of 5 drums were acquired from and refurbished by Precision Classical Timpani in Portage, Michigan, and our 1980s-era Walter Light Metropolitan Timpani. They just arrived in Lima less than 2 weeks ago, folks, after a wait of several months, and they will serve both organizations for decades to come. So now, performing Robert Sloan's new composition, Thundering Echoes, let's welcome Mr. Dane Newlove. Mr. Dane Newlove. Great job. Very challenging piece. Let's give it up for our Lima Area Concert Band as well. Brilliant performance. John Kakavas was an American composer and conductor who is probably best known for his television scores, notably Kojak, Hawaii Five-0, and The Bionic Woman. He's also well known for his hundreds of compositions and arrangements of works for wind band. The Gallant Men is a concert march inspired by the gallant deeds recorded in the illustrious history of our great American heroes. Incidentally, this tune was co-written by none other than network news personality Charles Osgood, along with John Kakavas, and became a hit record in 1967, featuring the highly recognizable voice of the prominent U.S. Senate Minority Leader at the time, Everett Dirksen. He was 70 years old when it was recorded, and it reached number 29 on the Billboard Top 100 charts. Here is our version of Gallant Men. Baroque hoedown was created by early Moog synthesizer pioneers Jean-Jacques Perret and Gershon Kingsley in 1967. It was contained on the album Kaleidoscopic Vibrations, or, a little easier to say, electronic pop music from way out. The composition was once described as being harpsichord gone country. The composition later became the theme song, and I'm sure most of you will know this reference, for Disneyland's Main Street Electrical Parade, way back in 1972, and all of its many iterations around the world. So here is Paul Lavender's arrangement of Baroque Hoedown. The Lima Area Concert Band. I think we should all thank John for including this particular Disneyland-related selection in the program tonight, because first of all, it was lively, it was energetic, we could enjoy it, and if he chose It's a Small World, we'd all been singing it till 4 o'clock this morning. We're coming to the end of the first half of tonight's program, and we would, at this point, like to take a moment and simply wish all mothers in the audience a very happy Mother's Day tomorrow. Thank you all, ladies. And we would also like to thank and acknowledge our sponsors for tonight's concert, Endodontic Associates of Northwest Ohio. Let's give them a round of applause. We also very much appreciate the Lima Eagles Area 370 and the Ohio Arts Council for sponsoring the 2024 season of the Lima Area Concert Band. We extend our sincere appreciation for their contribution to help us continue to bring live concert band music to the folks here in Lima. We now conclude the first half of our program with Johann Strauss's Radetzky March. Mr. John Hill and the Lima Area Concert Band. Welcome to the second half of our show, ladies and gentlemen. The beat goes on. The opening march was Trust, Deter, and Defend, the 2023 composition of Brian Sadler, who is musician first class for the United States Naval Forces of Europe and Africa Band. The march is the official march of the Naval Forces of Europe and Africa and is meant as a powerful tribute to the U.S. Navy and to their allies. We continue now with assistant conductor Marilyn Roth-Basinger taking the podium for Columbia. This is a 2022 composition of Randall Standridge. Standridge is an American composer and arranger whose music is performed nationally as well as internationally. His Columbia is named after both Columbia, the female personification of the New World in the United States, and also the city of Columbia, Missouri. Hints of Americana, chordal harmony, soaring brass lines with multiple tonguing features, fiery percussion, and sparkling woodwind flourishes abound in this work and make a dramatic rhythmic statement to be enjoyed by both the performers and by you folks in the audience. So here is Marilyn Roth-Basinger, the Lima Area Concert Band with Columbia. Bravo, bravo. Very nice. Isn't it great to know that that song was only written 2 years ago? A lot of times, you think of music for big bands like this as being written 40, 50, 60, maybe 100 years ago. Here's a fresh new sound, and it had all of the wonderful tunes that we would like to hear. So thank you, Marilyn. Dave Brubeck was a guy I grew up with. Dave Brubeck was an American jazz pianist and composer and is often regarded as a foremost exponent of what they call cool jazz. Brubeck's work is characterized by unusual time signatures and superimposing contrasting rhythms, meters, and tonalities. The Dave Brubeck Quartet literally broke the ice regarding odd time signatures with their recordings Time Out and Time Further Out. Today, the ability to play in all time signatures is in every musician's repertoire. Skillfully combining Brubeck's popular tunes of Take Five, Unsquare Dance, and Blue Rondo a la Turk, arranger Charles Sayer takes us back to when it all began with the great tunes of Dave Brubeck. Here is It's About Time. Let's hear it for our soloists and the Dave Brubeck put together. Just out of my own curiosity, by applause, how many of you were familiar with that Dave Brubeck music? Good job. Well, now we're happy to continue and bring back percussionist Dane Newlove, who will join us on the drum set with James Bonney's innovative and exciting work, Sticks and Stones. Please give another warm welcome to Mr. Dane Newlove. Give it up for Dane Newlove. You know, folks, people can spend thousands of dollars on a great new instrument like the timpani that we now are proud to have here in Lima. But it takes somebody like that to bring it alive. Let's get it again. What a night. I mean, we've had the band providing its own clapping. We've had people wiping off the brow of the percussionist during the middle of a song. You don't see this everywhere. That's why the tickets are so expensive to this place. Well, folks, Carl King is well-known and a well-known name in the band music world, and from challenging marches to rousing circus tunes, his music remains among the most played by all community bands. Tonight, we bring you one of his famous circus tunes and one of his all-time favorites. From Carl King, here is Circus Days. Felt like we were under the big top there, Circus Days. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we've had quite a night tonight. We've been to San Antonio with some fiesta music, and we've had Dave Brubeck, and we've had circus music, and now little mambo. It's a musical form and dance style that developed originally in Cuba, with further significant developments by Cuban musicians in both Mexico and the United States. In 1957, composer Leonard Bernstein produced music for the Broadway hit West Side Story, one of my all-time favorites, and included a dance scene based on the mambo. Tonight, we present Michael Sweeney's version for concert band, opening with a percussion solo, followed by the beat of the mambo. Band, it's all yours. The Mambo, ladies and gentlemen. I half expected the Sharks and the Jets to come out and start to rumble. Well, we come to the end of tonight's performance. We would again send our thanks to the Endodontic Associates of Northwestern Ohio, the Lima Eagles Area 370, and the Ohio Arts Council for their support of this 2024 season of the Lima Area Concert Band. We also thank all of you in the audience for your support and hope you will join us. Mark it on your calendars, Saturday evening, June the 15th, as we celebrate John Philip Sousa, featuring vocalist Chelsea Cree and clarinet soloist Joseph Brenneman. We'll also be presenting our annual Gail F. Woolley Scholarship and honor local Sousa Award winners. So bring a friend, bring a neighbor, bring your grandkids. Saturday, June the 15th, 7:30 p.m. here in the Krause Hall. We conclude tonight with John Higgins' Our America, and then, of course, our beloved national march, John Philip Sousa's The Stars and Stripes Forever. You've been a wonderful audience, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for coming tonight. The first show of the season, many more to come, including John Philip Sousa on June the 15th. Again, happy Mother's Day to all tomorrow, and drive safely home. Thank you all.